Is China quietly working on a long-term plan to replace the United States as a world leading power? There's a big question raised in Michael Pillsbury book called The 100 Years Marathon, and it argues that China is not just growing by chance, but following a careful strategy that could completely change global order by the year 2049. The 100th anniversary since the founding of People's Republic of China. Right now, the relationship between China and the United States is tense. On the surface, they trade a lot and depend on each other's economy. But behind the scene, there's a deep competition. The United States worried that China's rapid rise in technology, military power, and global influence. China, on the other hand, feels that it has waited too long to regain its rightful place in the world after what's called a century humiliation, where foreign powers dominated China more than 100 years ago. Pillsbury's book says that this competition is not temporary. Instead, it's part of a bigger hidden plan. One of the most important concepts in this book is called 势, which is actually a Chinese concept that's very hard to be translated into English, but you are thinking as a strategic advantage or alignment of forces. It's about understanding how to shape a situation so that the victory becomes natural without needing to fight directly. Instead of rushing, you wait until all the conditions are in your favor, and then success comes almost effortlessly. For example, think about a river. If you try to swim upstream, you use a lot of energy and get tired. But if you wait for current to be strong and position yourself correctly, you can let the river carry you downstream with very little effort. And that's 势. 势 is a very important Chinese word, and it has a lot of meanings and very deep context. It's not about brute force, it's about timing, patience, and making the situation work for you. Pillsbury explained China has been quietly using this idea in the strategy against the United States for decades. China has studied American weaknesses and learned from American technology and presented itself as a peaceful partner. But at the same time, it has slowly building its military, expanding its influence in Asia, and planning for the long term. While the United States often think in short election cycles of 4 years, China thinks in terms of decades or even centuries. And there's a difference between China and the United States, and it gives China a powerful advantage. Take technology for example. Instead of directly competing with the United States in every field, China focused on areas where it could eventually dominate, like 5G, networks, artificial intelligence, and quantum computing. By controlling key technologies, China created a situation where other countries, including the United States, depend on it. That's 势 in action, setting a stage so that power naturally shifts. Another example is the Belt Road Initiative. By building roads, ports, railways across Asia, Africa, and Europe, China is not just helping with trade, it is quite creating a network influence. Countries that accept Chinese investment become more and more dependent on China over time. Again, this is not direct confrontation with the United States, but it slowly changes the balance of global power. Pillsbury also pointed out that China has used deception as part of its strategy. For years, China presented itself as a poor, developing country that just wanted to modernize and catch up. Many American leaders believe that this and offer helps sharing technologies and open markets and support Chinese entry into global organizations like WTO. But behind the scene, Chinese leaders were following the marathon plan, accept help now, grow stronger, and later use the strength to challenge the United States. And what makes this book powerful is that Pillsbury does not describe events, and it shows the mindset behind them. To understand China's strategy, you need to understand its history and culture and long-term thinking. Western leaders always look for quick results, but Chinese leaders play a long-term game. They are willing to wait decades, and it means to reaching their ultimate goal by the year 2049. But what does it mean the future looks like if this strategy continues? Pillsbury warns that if the United States does not recognize what is happening, China could become world leading power by the middle of this century. And this does not necessarily mean war, but instead it could mean that the rules of global trade, technology, and security are not all written in China or by China, not by the United States. Other countries may not have no choice but to follow China's lead. And that's why this book is so important to read, and it's not about fear, it's about awareness. Whether you agree with Pillsbury or not, his research forces us to think the possibility that China rise is not by accident, but by careful planning. By learning about the concept like 势, we can better understand how China thinks and how future might hold. And in the end, the 100th Marathon is not about just a book that talking about China. It's a book about how power works in the world, and how strategy unfolds over time, and how long-term strategy and thinking can be more powerful than short-term wins. First of all, I don't get any sponsor from this book, on this author, but I just read the whole thing and the whole book, and I'm going to share with you in this video. And a very important concept delivered by this book is called 势, as I mentioned in the video, and you can check it out from our website and what the 势 means, and it has a lot of meaning that you can even find out from the internet. So if you like a video like this, please don't forget to follow me so that I can make more videos like this in the future. So follow Jason Gang for more videos like this, and see you in the coming videos. Bye bye.